Good morning, everyone. The first time back in a room with people in person, in the flesh. So let's hear it with a resounding good morning that we all need. Good morning, everyone. That sounds so much better. Let's keep that energy going, maybe more as we go through the day. My name is Shreya Krishnan. I'm going to be your host for the day. I hope all of you are doing well and keeping safe. So many parameters, so many shifts, so many changes, but I think what stays constant is the joy of being back in person. On behalf of the DSCI team, I welcome all of you to the 17th edition of NASSCOM DSCI Annual Information Security Summit 2022, popularly known amongst the security fraternity as AISS. We're extremely glad and equally excited to be able to host this in person, almost after 2 years of being virtual. As a humble request, before we begin with the proceedings for the day, can I request you all to pull out your mobile phones, your communication devices, and just gently turn on the silent mode. Day 1 of AISS 2022 officially commenced yesterday and witnessed subject-driven masterclasses by industry experts from top-notch companies, a day-long cybersecurity capture the flag hackathon by DSCI and EY, and a hands-on hardware security workshop delivered by cyber experts and practitioners. Information on sessions, schedules, speakers, and networking is available on the official website, www.dsci.in/event/AISS-2022. You can also scan the QR codes available outside every hall to download the detailed agenda and the conference handbook. There are a lot of contests running in our exhibitor booths to play and win. Visit Chelix, booth number 44, Protect.ai, booth number 35, Critical, booth number 13, Veher, booth number 7, and of course, a lot of the booths have a lot of very interesting things that are going on, so make sure to visit all of them when you get the time between sessions. We request you to share your updates and experience on social media, especially for the Twitterati in the house, the official hashtag AISS2022, and mention @DSCI_connect on Twitter. So now let's begin with what we have in store for today. For the first time, we're introducing the concept of what's in AISS with a bid to give a succinct bird's eye view about the annual Information Security Summit through leaders from our fraternity and highlight the key features that you should be watching out for. This is also our attempt to do a symbolic representation of a baton that will be passed on from one security leader to another every year, much like an Olympic torch, and would continue to inspire us to work towards strengthening the cybersecurity frontiers year on year. To do the honors, we would like to invite Mr. Samir Ratolikar, Senior Executive Vice President and CISO, HDFC Bank, to come on stage to take us through what's in AISS 2022 and officially commence with Day 2 of AISS. May I request Mr. Samir to kindly join us on stage and join me in welcoming him with a huge round of applause. Samir, the stage is yours.
Good morning. Wonderful to see friends and families after almost a gap of 2 years. Thank you so much, Vinayak and the DSCI team for putting across this idea of giving you a snapshot of going to be what is going to be the AISS, as they felt that it's a long association between DSCI and me as individual. It's been, I think, more than a decade that there is a strong bond which evolved the period of time in terms of the first AISS to right now, except a gap of couple of years in between because of the pandemic. I also would like to congratulate Vinayak to take over the position of CEO and DSCI. A big round of applause for Vinayak, please. So friends, I've closely observed the AISS for more than a decade now. And I honestly believe that this is a forum by us and for us, rather than DSCI organizing us and we are participating, right? So There is a lot of closeness. There is a lot of family aspects when it comes to the DSCI, AISS conferences, whether it happens here or even the DSCI best practices meet in Bangalore and maybe a couple of other places. But the feeling of a bond, the feeling of a family, those vibes are definitely sort of carried in all the DSCI conferences. This is one of the top quality conference having synthesis of ideas and the execution help, probably which results into a lot of these new innovation startup, security startup companies coming up now. And you can see yourself if you visit the innovation sandbox or you see the security product of the year, you'll find the fantastic homegrown products cutting across all the emerging and evolving cybersecurity areas. So one of the seeds of this evolving ecosystems greatly lies in the DSCI conferences and the DSCI initiatives which happens over a period of time. Coming back to the DSCI, what is going to be there as a theme this year? Can I have this slide, please? Is it on? It's not there. Okay, all right. So this year, we're going to see a platform-centric thought process, a platform-centric approach for enriched discussion and idea exchanges. As I said, and I honestly believe that even whenever I come and join the DSCI AISS, I always felt that as a big takeaway from these conferences is a multiple ideas into multiple areas, which helps you in tweaking our InfoSec strategies, which gives a trigger to the thought process, especially on what additionally we should be doing, what is the threat landscape evolving, etc. And I think, Vinayak, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the biggest contribution to the economies today, an Indian economy, probably cybersecurity carries a substantial weightage of, I don't know, maybe percentage, but maybe 7 to 8%. That's a growth we are seeing, and if you see the product and services sector as well, it is going almost 8 to 9% with huge delivery happening every year by year. And today, I don't know, but maybe more than 2 to 2.95 or close to 3 billion worth of contribution the product and services made. So it's all emanating out of the AISS conferences. Second important, as I said, it's a big canvas by us, for us, in terms of painting a big picture out of nuanced elements. The nuanced elements are multiple ideas, multiple products, and multiple deliberations, which we get to know as part of our interaction with our friends and the peers. Third, of course, is one of the most important advantage and a sort of a area which we all look forward, and that's what precisely we are here after a gap of 2 years, is the assembly, is the networking part. People from industries, governments and academia, they take part. I vividly remember one of the most important properties of DSCI is InfoSec for women leaders. So I don't know any other forum where the emphasis on developing the women leaders or giving a special emphasis on developing the leadership abilities or using the leadership abilities for InfoSec purpose is achieved, in DSCI. Another is there's a confluence of diverse perspective, sector and interest. So not only the BFSI part, but you will find the people from manufacturing background, government background, defense background, coming up, join hands. And there is so much of learnings. Yesterday I was talking to a defense expert. I mean, he was taking care of cybersecurity, and there is so much to learn in cryptography as far as the defense sector is concerned. Perhaps hardly 30 to 40% of cryptography we are using in our day-to-day life, the way these folks are using. So it's amazing to see, the people using a lot of mathematicians to develop even the machine learning models. And a lot of ideas came from the DSCI deliberations, DSI conferences. That was a very honest and pragmatic feedback given by one of the two defense cybersecurity expert. I had a conversation yesterday. Yes, movement that extends the contours, reach, and imaginations. Of course, we need food for thought. And of course, this is one of the big platforms where a lot of such triggers to our thought processes gets germinated. Commitment to find solutions collectively. Yes, that's the area. Probably, a solution engineering team is what we have in our organizations, where the job is continuously scout the new age solutions to tackle to the emerging threat landscape. Now, if you ask me what is the one area or one platform or one of the largest platform where we found the security products or security companies, what are the answers comes to our mind? Either we talk to the Gartners of the world or Forresters of the world, we find out, download the Magic Quadrant, study them, or those, the relevant, the similar stuff in the Forresters or IDC, etc. Or we do Google or the networking, etc. But probably, a major input come from the DSCIs, AISS, where a lot of people, a lot of security companies, they participate. Not only we get to learn about what is happening, but trust me, these startups who are quite young in this space need fantastic inputs from all of us. And if we attend to them very patiently and give our inputs, it definitely translates into their product getting maturity, which helps our country. Right? So probably it's a good example of give and take, in a very free and open atmosphere, as far as the security solutions are concerned. Yeah, it's a stage to hear global ideas and local experiments. Ideation zone, that sees things beyond the immediate orbit. That's what I said. I mean, the whole synopsis of these seven pillars or 7 principles, I would say, is the synthesis of ideation and benefits in the executions what each one of us carries after the AISS. Yes, it's a trigger, it's a place to meet aspirants, innovators, and entrepreneurial minds. So 9 master classes, 230 plus speakers, 2 town halls, 32 track sessions, keynotes, breakfast session, plenary panels, fireside chats, and design thinking workshops, all fantastic, current and the new age stuff. That's what you will witness here. If you see the whole coverage of the topics this year, which sort of we worked very closely with DSCI, is on endpoints, data and digitization, OT, IoT and cyber physical, application security, because a lot of innovations are happening even in application security space, and the world is moving from SaaS, DaaS to now interactive application security testing, etc. Strategic considerations and priorities which could be of interest to many of us who's focusing more on the GRC aspects, more on the governance aspects, and the strategy part of cyber security in their individual organizations. Security architecture and engineering part. What about even in that, if you see interestingly, XDR, which is a very buzzword these days, that is going to cover how XDR can be translated or taken up to a shape of SASE. That is another important aspect, so probably all of us will get a good input there. Then cyber security mesh architecture, which is a very, again, emerging topic whereby people are saying that, with IoTs coming up and IT coming up, how the amalgamation of a cyber security orchestration will drive these areas. That's what is covered in CSM, and I think there are a good number of research papers available on cyber security mesh architectures. Approaches for security consolidation, which is probably a theme for all of us, most of us because of budget constraints, rightfully so. That is another area where we can sort of dwell deeper. The future of enterprise networking. I think, one important word I came across recently on the future of enterprise networking is the future of network security lies in the cloud, right? So in a way, that's also another area where we will find a good number of topics out here, so feel free to meet up the speakers. Identity as a new perimeter, when all of us knows that hybrid working is the way forward to many organizations, at least if not all. That is how the new normal we are living with. So in such perimeter-less world or blurred perimeter, how to manage the identities effectively, how to manage the authentication aspects effectively, how to manage the behavioral aspects, all these things will get covered into identity areas. Cloud security, of course, is the way forward, and you will find a lot of discussions in cloud solutions and cloud process frameworks. Risk adaptive intelligence driven cyber security. So today, the contextual cyber security is something which is probably coming up in the perimeterless world. So every access, every identity, there has to be a context. And the context comes with multiple factors. One of the most important factor is the behavioral aspects or the device fingerprinting aspects. So that is probably will come with this. Hybrid infrastructure on continuous compliance so that we avoid the manual footprints and move towards automation of compliance to make job easy. Because trustly, honestly, in the BFSI segment, if you see, huge compliances. There is a certain mandate, there is a RBI, there is also to some extent by SEBI. There are mandates if you have your foreign footprints. There is NCIPC. All such mandates, the sort of the compliances, we need a hybrid, a sort of a orchestrated approach or dashboarding so that at any point in time, our compliance become more intelligent. And time synchronization, why it matters, especially in the context of the new certain guidelines, etc. So that is how you will find. Yeah, in the warfare side also, in the information warfare side, in the cyber security warfare, you'll find a couple of good interesting topics stretching as a nation state, you know, these areas. So this is largely the theme, friends. Please enjoy the workshops and don't forget to step out and enjoy the Delhi weather as well. Specifically for us who came from Mumbai all the way and 365 days, barring few surprises, there is not much of the beautiful climate here. So enjoy, have fun. That's the way to look at it. And my all the best to the DSCI team as well. Let us continue the association. Thank you and all the best.